Welcome to Caching Waves. This is another wave update for XRP. Now in this video I'm going to go from the daily all the way down to the hourly. But before I get started, just want to make you aware I do have a Boxing Week sale for the private Discord. It's 50% off your first month, and that code expires January 1st. So stick around to the end if you're interested in that. Now if you've been watching my videos for months, you know we've been tracking out this triangle as a fourth wave, looking for all-time highs after that. That was down in this area here, and it has come to fruition. Now, I'm going to get into the smaller time frames here, but there is one other consideration that I will go over later in the video, and that is that our E-wave actually finished over in this pivot, and we got a triangle for our E-wave. Now, that is if a very specific thing happens. Now, I also have discrepancies here, but I went with CoinMarketCap for the all-time high for price discovery at 384. All right, so let's get down to the smaller time frames, talk about this structure. Now off the E-wave low here, this is our alternate E-wave. Have this as wave 1 and 2, 3 in white, working on 4 now, looking for a fifth wave to the upside to potentially complete our fifth wave within our fifth wave. Now, reason I have this labeled specifically this way is guidelines. I was discussing this with a member. We want to hit standard or extended targets for our third and our fifth wave to keep us on the right track of things. Now, as labeled as such, we have this as wave 1 and 2. 3 came past the 2.618 extension for our extended third wave in blue, and then our wave 5 off our fourth wave triangle in blue came to the 1.618 extension of wave 1 off of wave 4. Now, based on these guidelines, this is the best fit currently, unless something changes. So I have this as 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what did not follow guidelines is our time guideline for our wave 4 between our wave 2, but that is a guideline. The fibs are more important than time. All right, so what we're looking for here is, if you follow guidelines, again, I always preach guidelines, is within wave 4s, we're looking for triangles or flat patterns. Right now, we are midway through a potential triangle, and this can morph into a flat pattern, but we're trading it as of right now as a fourth wave triangle. Right now, just have our algo target up at the minus 23.6% of this third wave retrace. Just put the negative 236 on there. That is our current algo target until we get our fourth wave pivot in, so we can use our alternate targeting tools. On log scale, that's 456. On linear scale, that doesn't come to all-time highs, so I would expect log targets to fill out. Now, it's also important to note that if we come up to this fifth wave, nothing says we can't extend further, and this is just a 1 and a 2 within our fifth wave. That is if we get an extremely bullish alt season. Now, one thing I did add on to this is if we happen to grind sideways here and make lower prices, if I go to linear scale, just to show you, we have reached ideal zone on linear scale for our fourth wave, just past that 382, and if we make a triangle, we shouldn't pass that C wave low at about 196. Now, if we do come down from here, and I'll explain how that pattern can change and come to the previous fourth wave here of one lesser degree, that's a very, very significant drop. We're talking 40-50% from here, and that's where I would adjust my count, even though it is not invalidated, to be more likely a wave 2. And I would move my E-wave bottom over here and consider the fact that our E-wave could be a triangle in itself, and this would be quite bullish, even though we got lower price action. I would consider this a 1 and a 2 if we come down to those prices, and we'd be looking for a third to the upside. So if this, then this, then that. If this happens, this is the adjustment I make. So we'll go down to the smaller time frames and talk about this wave 4. So the most important level to hold to keep this intact is the C wave low at 196.01. As soon as this breaks, it's not a triangle anymore. Now there is a way we can just run that stop and reverse quickly and not relabel it as a 1 and a 2. And that would be if this is actually a very ugly wave A within a ABC as a zigzag. I can count this as a WXY, this C wave here in the triangle. I can count this as a WXY or as a 5-wave move that doesn't go with guidelines ideally. So we're always open to that possibility, but right now just want to see follow through for this D wave. And then our E wave, which doesn't necessarily have to come that deep before we get that 5th wave to the upside. So my expectation is if this is an A wave and we're getting a combination here as a WX, and we're looking for an ABC to the downside, I'd want to just take out this low here and get a very quick recovery. Otherwise, we're considering the fact that wave 2 could come into play, right? Another way we can move correctively here to the upside and still be within a correction is if we make a move up to the RB zone between the 1.236 and the 382 of this move to the downside, and we can make a 5-wave move down as either a running flat where our B wave makes a higher wave above our 3rd wave and protects this as an A wave. That would be a running flat, or an expanded flat where we come lower and then reverse to the upside. So wave 4s are one of the most complicating structures to scalp in because all we have is a 3 and a 3 and a 3. 3-wave patterns can morph into many different structures, as you can see. So my read right now is triangle. As soon as we invalidate at 196.01, if we invalidate, have to adjust to this ABC. And depending how deep that C wave comes, makes me either reevaluate this as a wave 1 and 2 and move my E wave over here. Or if we just slightly drop below that and recover quickly, especially down on the micro, I'd be paying attention down on the micro. We see a micro 5-wave move, then I would still consider it a wave 4. All right. I think that wraps it up. But after this E wave, for a 3-wave move and another 3-wave move, the best entry here, if you want to play it as a triangle, is at the bottom of that E wave, stop at that C wave if you're looking for a DCA entry. And remember, we can get extensions here in the 5th, a blow off top, etc., much higher potential targets on log scale. And there is ways and methods within the Discord I teach of, if you do get a 5-wave move, how to add on to up your position size after a 5-wave move. Now let's talk about if we do potentially let's just assume that we got our E wave in that zone. We'll just do a hypothetical here. This would be my top end area. Take the length of wave 1 off of wave 3 to where our potential wave 5 would be, or wave 4 would be, the E wave. I can take the length of 1 through 3 off of that wave 4, put on our 618 extension. That upward end target is 754, and we can even come further than that. But I'm just trying to keep it as realistic as possible if this is a wave 4. All right, I think that covers everything. If you are interested in the membership, it is code CW50, 50% off your first month. You put that code right under that payment there. And also within that Discord, there is a code for Blowfin for members only. And what that allows is a 20% rebate for life on your trading fees. even if you cancel a membership, and a up to $300 deposit bonus. So check out the Discord if you're interested in. And other than that, I will see you in the next one. It's code CW50.